Vice President Kamala Harris has announced her candidacy to run for President of the United States.
Hey beautiful people, how you all doing today? It's your girl Destiny here and welcome to my channel. How you are doing? Hope you guys are doing great. So this video we want to talk about people's response to Kamala Harris as the possible candidate for the Democrats to run for the presidential election coming up November. If you don't know what's going on, just yesterday, the President of the United States, Joe Biden, stepped down that he's no longer running for the presidential election coming up in November and that he's nominating his VP, which is Kamala Harris, to take his place and to run as the president candidate for the presidential election. And this has struck a bigger conversation. We already did like the first part of people's response to Joe Biden stepping down from the presidential election. So this video, we're going to hear people's thoughts on Kamala Harris's running as the president of the United States, if this is possible, if she's going to win, and what does this mean for a black woman to run as a president candidate for the presidential election, and if she stands a chance to win against Donald Trump. This whole conversation is very interesting because if Kamala Harris wins this election, she will be the first female black president in the United States. And this has struck a bigger conversation because there are some people that don't take her serious. They said, oh, they don't trust her to do the job. She's not serious. America is a joke. While there are some people that seriously believe in the movement of Kamala Harris will be an amazing president. But I want to know what you think about this amazing conversation down in the comment section. Do you think Kamala Harris is a good candidate to run for the presidential election, and do you think she's going to win, and do you think she will be a good president? Those are three questions. Let me take it again. I want to know, do you think that she's a good candidate to run? And do you think that she's a good candidate to run for the presidential election? Do you think she's going to be a good president? And do you think she's a good nomination for it? So I want to know your own take down in the comment section. Love to know what you think. So let's go check out people's thoughts on this, and then I'll come back and share my own thoughts.
We're gonna have to work harder than we've ever worked before. I don't care if you're falling out of a coconut tree, God bless you.
Now that Joe Biden has dropped out of the race and selected Kamala Harris as his replacement, I'm pretty good. I'm good either way. A Donald Trump presidency would be awesome. We could end the wars, bring back our troops, not go to war with Russia, all those things. Those would be really great. We could reduce inflation instead of signing phony acts through actual economic policies that would benefit Americans. I would love that. However, a Kamala Harris presidency, wow. I mean, the entertainment value alone, the memes, the exposure of just how pathetic and ridiculous the Democrats and the deep state really are at running this country. Sometimes I really think you have to really hit rock bottom, for people to really learn their lesson. I feel like maybe right now, if Donald Trump gets elected and things go back and ho-hum and blah, 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 and everybody continues to hate Trump and everybody, the bickering continues, maybe we need Kamala to unite the country. Maybe we need someone so bumbling and incompetent, worse than Joe Biden, to really set us straight. What do you guys think?
Vice President Kamala Harris has announced her candidacy to run for President of the United States. On behalf of the American people, I thank Joe Biden for his extraordinary leadership as president, blah, 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 so on and so forth. Now, I skipped over all of this because I want y'all to pay attention to this last paragraph because it's important. I am honored to have the president's endorsement, and my intention is to earn and win the nomination. Now, the reason that part is so important is because of the lawsuit the Republicans are trying to push in Wisconsin, Florida, and Georgia on President Biden, saying that he cannot drop out because it's too late in the game. Well, no one's been nominated for the Democratic Party if Kamala is still saying that she's going to earn and win the nomination. So I guess we're good on that part. Now we need to see who Kamala's running mate will be. Now, I personally think it needs to be a white man or a Latino, because honestly, we're going to need some diversity on that ticket in order to sway people. And we need somebody with a clean slate. And I don't know that many people that has such a clean slate already. What do y'all think about Gavin Newsom? Do y'all think that'll be too much of a far left in order to be running? Do you think they may mess people up? but it would get the, the independents in. I think that would get the independents. If Gavin Newsom ran as vice president, I think it would pull in the independents. We shall see.
Wild day, am I right? Everyone and absolutely so excited about a 2024 Kamala Harris presidential campaign. And because I feel like a lot of her press coverage has just never really broken through, I really want to talk about the things that she has accomplished in her political career while we very anxiously await the next few weeks. She was elected San Francisco District Attorney in 2004, where she officiated the very first same-sex marriage after Prop 8 was overturned. She also established their environmental justice unit. In 2010, she became Attorney General of the entire state of California, and that is the largest state justice department in the country. She won a $1.1 billion settlement for veterans and students who had been taken advantage of from a for-profit university. She also defended the Affordable Care Act. She became a senator in 2017. She served on the Senate Select Committee for Intelligence, and obviously she became VP in 2020. So vice presidents are also presidents of the Senate, meaning they cast tie-breaking votes. And she now holds the record for casting the most tie-breaking votes in over 200 years from a vice president. So our girl's been working. She cast the tie-breaking vote on the Inflation Reduction Act, which is the only reason why it passed. And her work with President Biden has capped insulin at $35, seen a $1 trillion investment in infrastructure, and seen more small business creation in the last 2 years than any previous administration. She's traveled to 19 different countries and met with over 150 foreign leaders. She is ready for this, and we are ready for her.
I cannot make this up. President Joe Biden has suspended his re-election bid, leaving Kamala Harris to take over as the Democratic nominee for President of the United States. Now, Kamala Harris will go on to the Democratic convention where delegates will decide who is going to replace Joe Biden, and it's most likely to be Kamala Harris for 3 reasons. 1, she received Joe Biden's endorsement. 2, she has a claim to the hundreds of millions of dollars that Joe Biden has in his piggy bank. Nobody else has a claim to that money, just her. 3, she has name recognition nationally. Anybody who runs against her, Gretchen Whitmer, Gavin Newsom, Josh Shapiro, anybody, is statewide. Like, they don't have the national name recognition, and they won't be able to garner that recognition within the short period leading up to the election. So Kamala will clearly be the nominee, and it's time that everybody gets behind her because she is no Hillary Clinton, okay? She is so fierce. She is so popular among young voters, black voters, all voters, that this is like, thank you, Joe Biden, for doing this.
By now you've seen that Joe Biden has dropped out of the presidential race and endorsed Kamala Harris to be the nominee on the Democratic ticket. And if you haven't seen that, I'm happy to be the one breaking the news for you. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to stand up and get full-throated behind Kamala Harris. We are ready to be coconut-pilled and ready to start fighting against Donald Trump and the Republican Party. With that being said, I am fully aware that a lot of people have reservations about Kamala Harris, and it's the people who are not in the political realm every day. I do this for work, and so I am fully aware of what she actually has accomplished and who she is as a person. But I know a lot of people, friends, family, strangers, who are going to be a little concerned that she is now up as the #1 prospective Democratic nominee because people are like, oh, wait, they just don't know her. They don't like her. People are concerned about her. Here are the facts of the facts, right? She has been on this ticket of the most progressive presidential administration in my lifetime. Some would say in the lifetime of the entire country, depending on how you look at it. So she has that to run on. Whereas in 2019, when she was running a campaign, she only had a couple years as a senator and years as an attorney general to run on. Second, she is not the same person that you saw run a campaign 4 years ago. She's also not the same person you saw as vice president 3.5 years ago when all of the stories about all of the staff turnover was happening. She is now running a tight ship. This is a fully functional office of people that she has working beside her that you can rely on from day one. She is a fantastic speaker. She knows what she's talking about. She has the women's reproductive rights on the agenda. She's got democracy on the agenda. She can prosecute the case against Trump being a 34-time convicted felon. She's extremely well-spoken. She is young. She is much younger. She is 54 years old, and you can bet that that is going to be impactful for a lot of the youth turnout because they said, we literally will vote for anyone else that is not 150 years old. So here's my call to action. Share this far, share this wide, share this within your soul, because this is going to be a tough 3 months. We are going out there and talking to every person who says, I'm concerned about Kamala Harris because she's not likable. You know why she's not likable, in your opinion? is because nobody has taken the time to get to know her and make her likable. So if you just sit there, those of us that already like Kamala Harris, and say, no, actually, people do like her. Don't be worried. Don't be worried. That's one less person who's worried. And that's one person who will spread that to the next person who says, I'm concerned about her because I don't think people like her. And then that person will say, hey, no, actually, I heard a lot of people like her. And then that other person all of a sudden is like, no, you're right. I actually am hearing people like her. We are speaking this into existence. Any of the 2019 bullshit that she had to go through no longer exists. This is 2024. We've been through a lot.
As a Canadian who just heard the news about Joe Biden stepping aside and naming Kamala Harris as his choice for the nominee to become the next Democratic nominee for president, I just have felt this like overwhelming sense of hope. As your neighbors, it's been so hard to watch what's been happening and the divisiveness, and really like just the media cycles have just been really painful, and we know they are for so many people in the States too. I served as a member of parliament in the Canadian Parliament when Donald Trump was president, and what I can tell you, it was terrible for Canada. And of course we know it's just been horrible ever since, from the Supreme Court, what's been happening in the States. We've been watching here after Roe v. Wade was overturned, everything that's been happening at the state level that's impacting so many of you, and how frightening it's been. But I know one thing, Kamala Harris, F around and find out, because this woman is fierce, has done incredible things in her career, has done incredible things as the vice president, and she is going to be an epic opponent for the Democrats, who is likely going to become the first woman president in the United States. I know politically it's not easy to watch an incumbent walk away, to see an incumbent who had success and did great things. People inside of politics don't love that because there's always the strength of incumbency. But in this particular case, congratulations to Joe Biden, because this was the move to make. And I am just so excited to watch Kamala Harris, first of all, become the nominee, go to that Democratic convention, become their candidate for president, and to just watch history in the making. To all of our American neighbors who we've stood by and tried to do acts of solidarity. We just had the women's strike that we participated here in Canada, trying to show solidarity for what's happening to our sisters in the US and to everyone in the US. And so I just feel this overwhelming sense of hope today. And I'm so excited to watch Kamala Harris and what she's going to do in the coming months. By the way, Mexico just got their first female president, first one in North America. I think Kamala is going to be the second. What do you think?
Okay.
Hey, VP. Hey, presumptive nominee. I got something to say, VP. Hey, Kamala. Look, let's talk real quick. Now that you may potentially be the presumptive nominee and you will be able to run off of your own platform and your own ideas, I have an idea. Could you bring back the Lift Act? Now, for those who don't know what the hell that is, for anybody who said that Trump was giving us money and giving us stimmies and this, that, and the other, when it was actually a Democratic-led controlled Congress, Trump didn't want to give us the money to begin with. In fact, he halted the money so he could put his name on it. Well, Kamala has been proposing cash since she was a senator, and she even introduced legislation. So even though you're not a legislator right now, you could probably get somebody like a Jasmine Crockett to reintroduce the bill to Congress when we win this thing. But if y'all don't know, the Trump tax code that's giving, tax cuts to the billionaires and the trillionaires and this, that, and the other, and the 1%ers, Kamala Harris introduced a bill that would give the largest tax cut to the middle class. Now, if you don't know, anybody making less than $125,000 a year, you will be able to benefit from this. And that's particularly according to Statista. It's about like 70% of Americans. So most Americans will be able to qualify for this. You will be able to collect this money monthly. I'm talking about a reoccurring fee. And it's about $250 to $500 a month. And I know y'all thinking, well, that ain't really nothing. It is actually something. That's $3,000 a year. And first of all, let me tell y'all real quick. Most Americans can't afford an unexpected expense, particularly a $500 to $400. Okay, some people are living from paycheck to paycheck, or paycheck to Sunday, actually. Some people are one missing paycheck from homelessness. A lot of people are not able to reinvest themselves, and a lot of people aren't able to actually make ends meet or put food on the table. Nobody should work more than one job in order to put food on the table or pay their bills. And Kamala, You understand the working class, and you are understanding of poverty, and you're understanding people close to the pain. If you could reintroduce this policy again and run off of that shit, oh my God, you are going to get so much support.
So I'm a delegate from North Carolina to the Democratic National Convention happening in just a few weeks. And I want to start by saying that Joe Biden has been the best president of my lifetime, of modern times. And his decision to step aside is, I think, going to go down in history as one of the most selfless acts that could save the country and the world from an actual dictator taking over the most powerful nation. I am genuinely so proud to be a Democrat right now, to be an American right now, in a way that I don't think I was really expecting, because in the face of this threat, we had a nominee who, despite his many accomplishments, of which there are so many to speak of, he clearly was not capable of running the campaign that we needed him to win this election. And rather than just sticking with someone out of blind loyalty, the way that the Republicans have stuck with Trump through criminal convictions and liability for fraud and rape, the Democrats have instead spoken truth to power and gone a different direction based on the reaction of the American people. Kamala Harris has been on the ticket this whole time. She has been an incredible vice president, an incredible senator, an incredible attorney general, and before that, an incredible district attorney holding criminals accountable. And she is more than capable of now doing that against Donald Trump. She is going to be an amazing nominee, and I cannot tell you how excited I am for this shot in the arm of a young person who's going to be able to make the case against this man that has no business being back in the White House. We can win this election. Kamala Harris can win this election. She has my vote at the DNC convention. Whether or not it's open, I do not care. I am fully coconut pilled. I am ready to support her all the way. And I'm excited to see who she picks as VP. I would love for it to be Roy Cooper, but whoever it is, we're going to be very excited. It's time for us to stop our infighting, come together, and win this election. We can do it. It's just time to do the work.
Okay. This is really interesting. Like, I'm going to share my own thought, but I want to know what you think about this entire conversation about Kamala Harris. But I want to know what you think about Kamala Harris being the president or being nominated as the candidate to run for the presidential election. I want to know your own take down in the comment section, but please keep it respectful. As always, here on this channel, we're allowed to disagree, but do it in a respectful way. So go ahead, feel free and share your thoughts, okay? You guys know how we do is just be respectful about it. So for me, I like, you guys know, when it comes to the part one, we're talking about Joe Biden stepping down and Kamala taking over. I personally am super excited about the Kamala taking over and all that. I'm super excited her running, because I stated in the part one of this video, or the first part of Joe Biden stepping down, I stated that these people are old, and I feel like these older generation, like those silent generation and all that, they have no business, and the boomers, they have no business still being in power at the age and time we live at the age and time we live. We want someone young, vibrant, and that is what Kamala is. Secondly, she is a woman, a black woman for the matter, and I'm so here for it. Even if she was even a white woman, like the other guy in the first part of the video said this is the time for women to show out. Definitely know that black women are going to support Kamala Harris, but a white woman going to also support her too. I feel like this would be a breath of fresh air for a woman to be the president of the United States, one of the most powerful nations in the world, one of the most influential nation in the world, that whatever happens there kind of trickles down to the rest part of the world. I find it very, like, I don't like really to know this, that I find it very fascinating to have a woman, a black woman, become the president of the United States. I feel like that would be a breath of fresh air. And when people are talking about, oh, Trump and all that, because the first part of the video of Joe Biden, everybody was saying that, oh, Trump has won, that Kamala has no chance and all that. I'm just like, what if she really has a chance? Let me know down in the comment section. Do you think Kamala Harris has a chance to run for the presidential election? Do you think she has the chance to win this election? Because a lot of time people are forgetting some of the things. One of the things that keeps sticking in my head every time I remember the Trump administration, Donald Trump administration, is the Project 2025, and I feel like this is something that the little I know about the Project 2025, talking about how to take women's rights to their body away from them. For me, that is a big no, 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 no. We saw how Trump kind of did a spectacle of the United States during his first tenure. Do we really want that again? And a lot of people are saying that, oh, you're in Nigeria, why are you talking about the United States? Da, 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 da. Because everything that happens in the United States, always find a way. Whatever policy, laws that goes down in the United States, one way or the other, always find a way of affecting people on the other side, especially in Africa, especially in West Africa, especially African nation that has resources, oil and all that. It always finds a way of affecting it. And for me, I feel like it's very important for the American people to be very intentional, vote intentional, vote very informally, go out there and show out. And low-key, I'm kind of like happy that Joe Biden stepped down, but even though I wish that he would have run through, get in and leave for Kamala, but I'm kind of happy because we all know that Joe has been moving a certain way, and yeah, it's not making people to have that faith if they want to vote for him and all that. But I feel like this would be a very interesting twist if Kamala Harris wins this election. I'm really interested to see how it's going to work. You guys know how here on this channel we're very passionate about women empowerment, women-centered women breaking from the patriarchal system. For me, I feel like it will be a breath of fresh air. So let me know what you think about this. If you're team Kamala or you're still like, no, probably somebody else. But also, like the other brother said, this is a time for women that choose the bear to show out. Knowing to where that black women will vote, but white women, would you vote for a woman? Because I did a video like this like last year where a black woman were calling white women out for not voting for their best interest. Rather, they were voting for what supports their privilege, the whiteness. And for me, this is the time, especially as women. I know I have a lot of women as demographic here on this channel. This is the time for go look out their manifesto, look out some of the things they campaign for, and ask yourself which of these serve your interest. Not to say about like what happened to Hillary Clinton the other time where women went around and didn't vote for her and she lost out. This is another chance as women. We'll be able to have another woman be the president of the United States. And we all know when it comes to women and issues that affect women, most of these men, they don't understand. Like they really don't understand. But having a woman in front as the leader, anyway, I'm so here for it. I'll be like, I personally, I'll be excited about this if I personally, I'll be very excited if Kamala Harris becomes the president of the United States. That is an exciting news. But anyway, guys, please go down in the comment section and educate me more on if I'm missing out on something, if I'm missing out on some certain information. You guys know I'm not in the United States, but I'm so open to learn and know your own thoughts. So go down in the comment section and share your thoughts. Love to know what you think and your thoughts and some of the lessons you want to teach me or some of the things you want to teach me. I'm really here for it. So go down in the comment section and do that. But please keep it respectful As always, you're on this channel, we're allowed to disagree, but we'll do it in a respectful way. So go ahead, feel free and share your thoughts. Go ahead and share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have banging conversation. So go ahead and share this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button, because this helps YouTube to push out my content for more people to see, and that'll be you supporting this channel and this girl here. So go ahead and give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Deuces.